Most roofing companies running Google Ads right now are bleeding money. And the worst part is their agency has no idea why that's happening. They're getting clicks, but the leads are garbage. They're getting tire kickers, job applicants, people are researching prices. And that's not a Google Ads problem, that's a setup problem. And in this video, I'm going to show you the exact campaign structure that we use to help roofing companies dominate the bottom of the funnel searches in 2026. And it's the very one that will piggyback off of your SEO and help train Google's AI on real roofing leads and filter out the noise. By the end of this video, you'll know which campaign type is working best for roofers right now and why, and you'll know how to train Google's algorithm to find you real people ready to hire your company to do their roof, not just researchers, not tire kickers. And we'll also show you the settings that you have to get right or your budget's going to be wasted from day one. This isn't theory, this is what we're running right now for our clients. But if we haven't met yet, my name is Preston, this is Results Digital, and we're the leading digital marketing agency just for roofers and exterior contractors. We partner with one client per market, and we have already helped one roofing company grow to a $60 million private equity exit, and we want to help you do the same. Now, let's get into it. First and foremost, you have to understand what Google search ads actually are. So before we talk strategy, you need to get one thing straight in your head about Google search ads. Google search ads are a bottom of the funnel channel. All right, period. Every single person who types roofing company near me or roof replacement Houston or roof replacement Orlando, that person is ready to hire someone right now. That's your buyer. And it's the complete opposite of display ads or YouTube ads or even Facebook ads, which are top of the funnel and awareness or disruptive marketing. With Google search, you're fishing in a pond full of people who are ready to hire and buy what you're selling. So the entire goal is to make sure that your ads show up and they're not paying for people who are just browsing or researching. So every single decision you make with this type of campaign should be made with one question. Is this person ready to hire or not? And there are three ways to run a Google search ads campaign. And there's one of them that I think wins. Option one is just to use a standard search campaign. You're going to put in your keywords as you've done for 20 something years. It will drive traffic, and many times people will send it to a dedicated landing page. This is a squeeze page, right? There's no menu. They're on that page. There's no way to exit that page except to hit the back button or close it on your browser. Option two is the same type of setup, but instead of sending someone to a landing page, you're going to send them to your actual website that you're doing all your SEO work on, your public website that's on your business card. Option three, and this is the winner chicken dinner, these are dynamic search ads, DSA. All right, and you want to use them with a page feed. And in 2026, that option number three, is the one that we recommend. And the results are what back that up. And here's why it wins. So let me back up for a second. DSA stands for dynamic search ads, okay? And what that means is instead of you picking the keywords, Google's going to scan your website pages and it will dynamically match your ads to what people are searching. It works in many ways the same way that SEO works. With SEO, you give your website to Google Search Console. Whenever you create a new page, you have it indexed in Google Search Console. That means that Google scans the page, it puts into memory what the page is about, it starts parsing all the keywords and categorizing it for the types of searches it should show up for. And if the page is structured correctly, it will use a heading hierarchy and images and paragraph text that will guide Google in knowing what the page is about, so that you get the relevant searches. And with DSA campaigns, you can have it scan your entire website, or you can add a page feed. And that would be simply a list of the important pages that you really want Google to know about. Let's face it, you don't want someone that's searching for roof repair near me to be shown your about page. You want them to go to your roof repair page for their local city. All right, so that'd be service pages, local pages, your home page. And with a page feed, Google will use those as the foundation for your keywords and your searches. And here's why that matters for roofers specifically. Reason number one, it's going to piggyback off of your SEO directly. All right, so every month your SEO team should be building out local service pages. Roofing company Houston, roof repair Houston, roof replacement Houston, gutter repair Houston, and so on, right? Well, with DSA, your ads automatically pull from those same exact pages that your SEO team is creating. So when someone searches roof repair Houston, Google Ads will dynamically route them to the roof repair Houston page if it's in the page feed. So that's going to be maximum relevance. All right, so both the searcher and Google's algorithm are going to love that because of the relevance. And you're essentially double dipping on the work that you've already done through your SEO. Reason number 2 is it's going to force Google to put data on your SEO pages. When you drive paid traffic to a page, Google's going to see those sessions on that specific page. And those sessions, they create signal relevance. All right, so the pages that might be slow to rank organically can get a head start because Google's own ads are driving traffic to them. It's a real advantages, and a lot of agencies aren't doing this. So whenever you index a page with Google Search Console, that's the organic engine to show up in organic searches, Google may choose not to index that page. Well, with a DSA campaign structured with a page feed, those pages that you want indexed are going to get indexed on Google Ads, and it's going to send traffic to that page. It's basically going to force Google to acknowledge the page and start getting data on it. The third reason would be because of service and budget flexibility. So let's say you do roofing and gutters and siding and painting, and all of those are in your page feed. Well, your DSA campaign will cover all of that automatically. So if it's a slow week for roof replacement, but gutters are hot, well, then your budget's going to flow to the gutter searches. You're not leaving money on the table because one service segment's slow. Or worse, Google's not going to force bad clicks as it would on a standard search campaign because it's just trying to spend your budget, meaning it's going to route that budget to more meaningful keywords and pages and utilize your budget much more favorably. So it allows you to have one budget with maximum flexibility across your full service menu. Reason number 4 is that as you add pages, the campaign grows with you. So every time your SEO team adds a new local page or a service page, you want them to also add that new page to the page feed. And then you set the page feed to refresh every 12 hours. And then your campaign will grow automatically alongside of your SEO footprint. So the next thing is, how do you train Google's algorithm? And this is where most agencies fail, okay? Google Ads is not a set it and forget it. It's an algorithm, it's an AI. You have to train it. Everyone has heard the term AI by 2026, right? Another term that's relevant to AI is called machine learning. You have to train Google's AI, and you have to help feed the machine learning the data it needs in order to optimize and learn how to accomplish the goals that you're giving it. So the algorithm, Google's algorithm, follows 2 signals: your conversion goals and your negative keywords. If you get those wrong, Google will optimize for all of the wrong outcomes, and it's going to waste your budget. So the first training signal is offline qualified conversions. And this is probably the most important piece of this entire video. So the way a lot of agencies do it, when someone fills out a form on your site, that form, when submitted, goes to a thank you page, okay? And most agencies will set that thank you page as a conversion event, all right? And that will get automatically sent back up to Google, so Google starts to optimize for that conversion goal, right? Because it fired. That's a massive mistake, huge mistake. I can't underscore that, bold it, all caps. That's huge, highlight it as well, all right? That thank you page is going to fire whether the lead is real or not. Okay, so it will fire if it's a job applicant, if it's spam, if it's a click to call and someone misdials, or it's a contractors checking out your site. It's going to fire every single time it's triggered. So on click to call phone calls, every time someone taps it, which bots are notorious for doing, or someone fills in your form, that's going to fire off a signal to Google saying, hey, that's the kind of person that I want. Go get me more of that. Well, if those are bad leads, it's going to go out and find you more spam, more job applicants, more bad leads. Google Ads will optimize to whatever data you feed it. And the fix is to use call tracking software so that every single call from Google Ads gets recorded. You then have to have a teammate review the call manually, and when the call's a real lead, you then upload it to Google Ads as an offline qualified conversion, meaning you've listened to the phone call, you've verified it's a real lead, you're now sending that signal back to Google Ads only at that point in time. So it's optimizing for real live phone call leads. And you do the same thing with your forms. Yes, the forms, whenever they're submitted, they'll still go to a thank you page, and that can fire a micro conversion, which is helpful for training Google Ads how to get to your qualified conversion event. But the qualified event only gets sent back to Google after a human verifies the lead. Is the name look legitimate? Does the address look legitimate? Does the email and phone number? What about the message that they put in the field? Is that legitimate? So a human has to filter that and make sure it's legitimate before it sends back up to Google Ads. You don't want Google just to optimize automatically. That's danger zone. And this is the difference between your campaign improving month over month or getting worse. Training signal number 2 is daily search term audits. Okay, so with DSA, The keywords are coming from your pages, right? So Google Ads is pulling those searches from your pages, which is powerful, but it's also going to pull up irrelevant searches. Again, because Google wants to get that click, it's cost per click or pay per click, right? PPC or CPC. So Google only makes money when they get a click. And if demand is low and they want to get the clicks because they want to spend your daily budget, which they absolutely do, they're going to start going after relevant searches, and they'll have some vendors, right? So they might pull up for pressure washing near me, or sheet metal prices near me, or shingle prices, or roof cleaning. Well, if those aren't services that you want leads for, you have to block them. That's what's called adding negative keywords. Those are search term audits or adding negative keywords. And the skill is knowing how to block them. And there's a concept within keywords in Google called match type, okay? And you have basically 3 types of matches. You have broad matches, phrase matches, and exact matches. Okay, and I know some of this stuff is going to be like, whoa, I'm just a roofer, man. And if that's your attitude, please just book a strategy call with us. We can do this way better than you can. Just go be a roofer. We'll work on getting you the leads. But anyways, a broad match block is when something is so completely irrelevant to your business, like pressure washing. So you want to block it broadly, right? So that nothing can trigger your ads as it relates to those types of irrelevant searches. A phrase match is where you put it in quotations, and that would be something like roof cleaning if you don't want to offer that. Meaning if you don't want to pay the $30 per click for a potential roof cleaning lead, then you want to block that as a phrase. The reason you would block it as a phrase is because it contains the word roof in it, and you could potentially block legitimate searches. And then an exact match is when you need to get very specific and granular with what you're blocking. This would be something like shingle prices. That's a typical top of the funnel search, right? It's not someone that's looking to get a quote on a shingle roof. It's someone that's researching the price of shingles. You don't want to pay for that. But you also want to be very careful because there is some relevance in there, but the term shingle prices by itself is a completely irrelevant, costly, and money-wasting term. So you block it as an exact match. You basically put brackets around it. And that will block that specific term, but nothing outside of it. And these search term audits, you want to run every single day, without exception. 15% of all searches on Google are new. And so Google will always be finding ways to get clicks because, again, you tell them I can spend that $200 a day, by golly, they will spend that for you. Don't you worry. So you have to teach the algorithm what a good search looks like. You have to guide the AI and block out what doesn't belong. Now, let's get into campaign settings that you cannot skip. These are not optional. If you get these wrong, your budget will leak. The first is location targeting. It comes out of the box set to people interested in your area. Bad setting. Guess who's interested in your area? Every third world country in the world, all right, is interested in your area because they want to prospect you and get you to use them. You want to set the location settings to people in or regularly in your service area, all right, not the default setting, which is people interested in your area. That'll be way too broad. Next, turn off the display network. So Google Ads comes set up automatically with the display network turned on and the search network turned on. Now, I know it can be confusing because you have the Google search network, then you have the search network. Well, the search network are low intent sites like ask.com or AOL search engine. They're not good searches. They're usually very spammy. You want to only leave Google search network on. Secondly, the display network. Remember, this is a bottom of the funnel campaign. You don't want top and middle of the funnel. So display network is going to fall into that top and middle of the funnel. So you want to turn the display network off as well. And Google Ads ships with the display network on and the search network on by default. Next, AI Max. Never use it. They have a big old section and they'll tell you it's recommended. This is best practices. It's best practices for Google. Because what they're going to essentially do is open up Pandora's box with their AI to just go crazy with irrelevant searches. They push this feature constantly. They're always pushing their AI via Performance Max or AI Max, and you're handing full control to Google's AI to rewrite your ads and change your targeting. You basically lose control over everything and your budget's going to get burned. Keep this in the back of your head. Google is a publicly traded company. They have to show quarter over quarter earnings that are increasing. They have a board to answer to. They are not in the business of helping you spend your budget effectively. The old adage is if you give them an inch, they'll take a mile. So do not go with what Google recommends. And when the people call you from overseas saying that they work for Google, don't take their phone calls. Get off the phone immediately with them and then go to our website and give us a call, and we'll take care of this for you. And another caveat on this. I see a lot of roofers when I go into their accounts and they're using a campaign called PMax or Performance Max. That's a big no-no. Don't use that type of campaign either. That's not the right type of campaign that will burn through your budget. Next setting, you have to go into the account settings and turn off auto apply recommendations. You have to turn off every single one. Don't leave any of them on. Google will recommend this, right? And then they'll apply them automatically if you leave this on. So the auto apply recommendations are, I think there's like 14 of them, and all of them are basically just saying, here Google, take my money and spend it. Give this to your shareholders. And those recommendations will almost always increase your ad spend and lower your lead quality. So go in and turn off every single toggle. Last setting is the page feed. You have to add it to the campaign in the data section. When you go in and set up the page feed, you then have to go into the campaign itself and assign that page feed to the campaign itself. If you don't connect the page feed to the campaign, DSA will fall back to crawling your entire site randomly. And you want to control exactly which pages are feeding your campaign. For instance, you don't want people going to your blog pages. Those aren't your money pages. They're not built to convert. So here's the one thing I want you to walk away with from this video. Google search ads are bottom of the funnel. Every single decision you make should be built around that. Secondly, use DSA with a page feed. Also use offline qualified conversions. You have to do daily search term audits, and you have to use the right settings. That's the system. But here's the honest truth. You can know all of this and still struggle if you haven't run hundreds of campaigns. Knowing what to do is one thing, but knowing when to touch a campaign and when to leave it alone is something completely different. You can't over-optimize a campaign. When a campaign is in its learning phase, trying to optimize it can be one of the most expensive mistakes you make with Google Ads. Now, if you want this done right and you don't want to become a digital marketer, again, I'm assuming that you're a roofer, go be a roofer and hire us to handle your digital marketing, because that's exactly what we do at Results Digital. And like I said at the beginning of the video, we only work with one roofer and exterior contractor per area, one client per market. Once you hire us, your competitors can't hire us after you do. Our goal is to help you become a millionaire and accomplish your financial goals, and to make it impossible for your competitors to compete against you. I do only have a small number of spots open right now, and there's a link in the description to book a free strategy call. And if this video helped you, please drop a like, you know what to do there, and subscribe to the channel for more roofer marketing content. And please leave a comment. Let me ask you, what's your biggest frustration with Google Ads right now? Now, until next time, Results Digital out.